Hello everyone, welcome to today's open day. Even though we can't see you physically face to face, we'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you all. Thank you for coming today. Just to quickly introduce myself, I am Thomas and I'm one of the program directors at HKU SPACE. My colleague here.
Yeah, my name is Simon. I'm the course leader of the London U External Llb Prep Courses. Okay. Welcome.
And just to quickly tell you the format, right? We will be introducing two main programs that we run here at HKU SPACE, and there will be a question and answer session at the end. But please feel free to ask us any questions that you want, and but we won't be able to get to them until the end. All right. So the theme for today is basically steps towards a global legal career. And this is very important for us because, when you want to, do a program, you might be thinking about not only practicing law in Hong Kong, but also maybe overseas as well, okay? And the two main programs we'll talk about is the Certificate in Legal Studies. And Simon, you could talk about?
Well, I'm going to talk about the University of London Llb Prep Courses, as well as I would perhaps talk touch slightly on the Graduate Diploma in Commercial Law as well.
Okay, so two fantastic programs here at HKU SPACE. But just to quickly describe, HKU SPACE, right? So HKU SPACE, of course, given the name that we have, is a part of the University of Hong Kong system, right? And one of the great things about HKU SPACE is that we've been here for a long, long time. We have a proven history. Been around for 60 years?
Yeah.
So a long time,
yeah,
right? And we have a reputation to match. Ask anyone on the street, they would automatically know who HKU SPACE is,
yeah.
Right? And our quality programs, we have quality assurance. We are under the government's QF framework. And the best thing is our students have, done extremely well. Many of our students are judges, magistrates, law firm partners, and so on. So we talk about the first program, which is the Certificate and Diploma in Legal Studies. This is one of the programs I run, and this is a foundational law course, and basically, we are targeting these students, all right? So if you are thinking about studying law, all right, you want to try to study law, but perhaps you aren't very sure that you want a full-blown law program, or maybe you don't have a lot of time or resources, right? You can only study once or twice a week, spread out over a year, and maybe you don't want to become a lawyer, or you aren't sure yet, but you need law for your job function. Maybe you work in HR, engineering, contracting, whatever field. Law is very, very important. Or if you're not happy with your job, or because of the current economic situation, you become unemployed, you want to change careers, law is a fantastic field to get into, right? And by doing this, you can transition into a legal career. And maybe you aren't sure of committing to an advanced law program, right? This is a great stepping stone. Maybe study certificate first for 12 months and then move on to something else, right? And you need to know the law in your personal life, right? So every day we encounter contracts, torts, company law. So not knowing the law gives you a big disadvantage. Right? And in terms of the demand for legal professionals, I know sadly the economy is not very good, but in terms of job opportunities, you can see that the legal industry is still very strong compared to other sectors. And if you complete the certificate and the diploma, you can become a paralegal, which is an assistant to a lawyer, or a legal executive, another title, right, for assistants to lawyers, which I'll talk more about in a moment. So just to give you 4 key features about the certificate in legal studies is basically 5 core areas, right? So 5 very important legal areas over a period of 9 to 12 months, and been running this program for 30 years, so for a long, long time. And we have had a lot of students, right? Ranging from, someone who just finished high school to CEOs to professors, right? Whole range of students, right? And it's open entry. Anyone can join, right? So there's no IELTS test, no GMAT test. If you want to join, sign up, there's no barrier to entry. And it's very affordable, right? Starting at about $20,000 Hong Kong. And it's probably, in my opinion, the easiest way to start studying law. So let me talk more about the certificate, right? Certificate, as you can see, is basically the first year of the program, right? So many students, they aren't too sure, they complete this in 9 to 12 months. If you want to quit, you can still get a beautiful parchment at the end, right? So the 5 important law subjects are Hong Kong legal systems, right? Which is, describing what exactly is a Hong Kong legal system, right? What is the common law legal system? How do we make the law? How do we interpret the law, etc., right? Contracts and torts. We make contracts every single day, right? So whether we're buying food or going on, a bus ride, it's a contract, right? If you employ, there's an employment agreement. Torts, harm being done to someone, right? So like, for example, negligence, someone is careless, harms you in some way. Defamation, someone posts something online which harms your reputation. Business associations, company law, all right? Civil procedure, the process of a lawsuit in Hong Kong. What happens if you want to sue someone? What happens if you're sued? And of course, the most important law in Hong Kong, and also a little bit controversial, Hong Kong basic law. It is very important for you to know about it. Most students continue on to the diploma, which is the second year of the program. All right, so, and you'll be studying another 5 important legal subjects, which is criminal law. Right, what's that? Murder, arson, theft, right? All the bad things people do. Land law and conveyancing, buying and selling apartments, licenses, leases, mortgages, right? Family law, marriage, divorce, custody of children. What do you think this is? Number 4, succession and probate, right? In an increasingly aging society, this has become really important. This talks about what happens to your property, all right, should you pass away. What happens if you have a will? What happens if you don't have a will? And of course, number 5, mainland legal systems, right? So the legal system they have up north, okay? Not only will we teach you the law, we'll also teach you very important legal skills like legal writing, all right? This is an acquired skill. Writing in law is not the same as writing a blog or writing an email. It requires specialized technical skills, and we'll teach you how to do that. Legal research, even though we'll teach you all these very important areas of law, there are things which is always changing, right? And there are areas of laws that we can't teach you, okay? So legal research is very important. And legal thinking, every profession has a different mindset. Lawyers think differently from accountants, all right? So how does a judge think? How does a barrister think, all right? And talking about barristers, right? All our teachers have very extensive legal experience. In fact, a lot of our teachers, right, they are in court in the morning and they come and teach you at night, right? They're barristers, they're partners in law firm, solicitors, company secretaries, etc. So all our teachers have extensive legal experience and they impart this to you, this knowledge, this history, right, to you at night. And for our program, the great thing is that all the legal textbooks are provided, right? Both online, offline, you don't need to go and buy anything. They're all provided for you, okay? And as well as the fact that you have access to Hong Kong U resources, the law library, the main library, the legal databases like LexisNexis, Westlaw, etc. And we know you work, right? We know that you work, you have family commitments, you have life commitments. So we made this program very, very flexible for you, okay? So 1 or 2 classes a week, depending on the intake you have, all right? So you can study at night, during the weekday, or in Saturday afternoon, all right, 2:30, okay, you can sleep in. And you have a choice of exams. And I think this is a very unique feature of our program. The fact that, you know, basically, that if you're not available to take the exams in June, come in August. You're not available in August, come in October, right? Or spread your exams out. Have one in June, some in October, right? Some whatever you want, right? And most students complete within a 12-month period. And as Simon will talk about later, you know, if you complete the certificate and the diploma, you're guaranteed a place on the Llb, okay? And, you know, if you want to do our very popular CPE program, the Graduate Diploma in Hong Kong English Law, you guarantee a place if you complete the COS, DOS, and the ADLS, right? The Advanced Diploma in Legal Studies, okay? So let me quickly talk about 2 options which is available if you're interested in doing this certificate. Well, one option is what we call the general stream, which is to study on Hong Kong U campus at one of the large lecture halls, just like a Hong Kong U student, right? 2 classes a week, weekdays, 7 p.m., right? And it's very affordable, about $20,000 Hong Kong. Or you can come to Admiralty, you know, in what we call the professional stream. You have the option of either 1 or 2 classes a week, depending on the intake. So what's the difference between these 2, the general stream and the professional stream, right? 1, location, right? Admiralty versus Hong Kong U. 2, the costs, right? Because at Hong Kong U, the class sizes are a little bit bigger. We can afford to lower the fees. $20,000 compared to the professional stream, about $30,000 Hong Kong. And as I mentioned before, if you want the legal executive title from the Hong Kong Law Society, right, which is an assistant to a lawyer, you need to start off with the professional stream. Otherwise, everything's the same. The law is the same, all right? The exam, the assessment is the same, all right? The teachers are the same, the program directors are the same, all right? Talking about exams, okay? So I know that many of you are a little bit concerned, a little bit, you know, of trepidation, right? About, you know, law, you know, studying cases and statutes and so on, all right? But historically, the pass rate is very, very high. 80 to 90%, right? So if you study, you will pass. And the reason why the pass rate is so high is because we do give you a lot of help. Revision classes, manuals, writing classes, etc., right? So you will pass. As I mentioned before, open entry, and this course, both the certificate and the diploma is listed under the government's you know, CEF scheme, right? So if you complete this, you can get your money back if you are eligible, right? So easy decision, right? Join us, try it for 1 year. You know, as I mentioned in the theme that, you know, it enables you a pathway to a global legal career, right? I know that some of our students are working, for example, after completing the diploma, they've gone to do, you know, something else in the States, in the UK, studying a law program in the UK, or going on to do the London ULB, or you know, going to Australia, because, you know, in Hong Kong, we are part of the common law legal system, right? So you see a lot of lawyers coming from overseas to work in Hong Kong, and a lot of Hong Kong lawyers and Hong Kong trained legal professionals going overseas as well. And we have plenty of examples, right? So having said that, I'm going to pass this to Simon. And he's going to talk about the fantastic London U Llb prep course.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Thomas, for this very informative presentation on the certificate program. Now, before I formally start, I would like to play a video to you. Is by, in her own words, our first class honors graduate last year on the London Llb program. She has something to say to you, okay?
I'm pleased to welcome you to the University of Hong Kong campus and this presentation ceremony to celebrate your completion of a University of London international program at HKU SPACE.
I wish to extend my gratitude to the University of London for providing us with world-class international programs which allow us to achieve such long-standing and well-regarded qualifications. My sincere thanks also go to HKU SPACE for providing first-class teachers and excellent learning support.
Today, the University of London is a federation of 17 member institutions and 9 research institutes. All have major international reputations for academic innovation and rigor in their fields, and it is those reputations which sustain the global standing of the University of London, which also makes your degree such a mark of achievement as you seek to further your careers.
It seems like it was yesterday that I attended the program information seminar at HKU SPACE and decided to enroll in the LLB program of the University of London. Many of my colleagues working for the government recommended this program to me because it is an internationally recognized and well-regarded qualification. It was really an enjoyable experience to study at HKU SPACE because it provided an excellent learning support, and their visiting lecturers are renowned scholars from the UK. Completing a law degree was really a challenging task. Being a working mom with 2 young kids made it even harder for me. 24 hours a day were not quite enough. So I had to fully utilize every minute of my spare time to study. 30 minutes before work, 1 hour lunch break, and 90 minutes after I put my kids to bed. So 3 hours of studying per day was good enough to pave the way for a first-class honor. I have to thank my parents and my husband for taking care of my kids while I buried myself in my study. Without their reserved support, I could not have accomplished this mission. I'm also grateful that I had 4 study buddies along the way, so as to make my journey full of vigor and laughter.
Okay, thank you very much. Carmen I think you enjoyed what Carmen said about the quality and what she gained from our teaching at HKU SPACE, in particular, concerning the LLB program awarded by the University of London. Now, I'm going to talk about this world prestigious LLB program awarded by the University of London. This program has been in existence in Hong Kong for over 55 years. Literally, to tell you a little bit about history, it was the very first formal legal training in Hong Kong, well before the establishment of the HKU Law Faculty itself. Now, at that time, going back to the colonial time in 1964, the colonial government was actually thinking of whether we should have a law school in Hong Kong, full-time law school in Hong Kong. The very first pilot scheme was actually this University of London LLB program, which was at that time housed under the the Department of Extramural Studies, which is the precursor of HKU SPACE. Now, I don't need to spend too much time on introducing what is the University of London. It's a big name, it's a big brand, okay? Everyone around the world knows what is the University of London. The LLB itself, the program itself, has a history of over 160 years, and in Hong Kong, its existence over 55 years. It is world-class. It is regarded as an international standard, gold standard, in terms of legal education. The quality how is it maintained? There's a consortium of laws which is actually composed of several world-famous or nationally renowned law schools within the University of London system. The UCL, King's, LSE, Queen Mary, SOAS, and Birkbeck. Now, the program itself is of course, it's of very high quality, but at the same time, it is flexible, employable, it is accessible, and affordable. Now, I won't talk too much, go into too much details about the program in terms of every one of the aspects, but I think you would like to perhaps download a little bit from our website, which can be, you can just get all these pamphlets concerning the programs, and you can learn more from it about the features of the program. Now, the LLB itself is an undergraduate law degree, okay? Some people will simply treat it as a kind of liberal education where you can gain the knowledge and skills in relation to practical and rational problem solving. Now, some people would like to treat it as a prerequisite to the next stage, which is the professional stage. Now, in Hong Kong and in many common law jurisdictions, you do need a law degree, a formal law degree, before you proceed to the next stage, the professional stage. After that, you can apply for admission to the legal profession, either as a solicitor or as a barrister. In Hong Kong, if you have an LLB or an equivalent like a CPE or like a JD, the next stage for you is to get the Hong Kong PCLL, which is a program offered through 3 different law schools in Hong Kong. Now, this is an English law degree program that is also accepted in England and Wales as the prerequisite to the professional practice there, okay? I'm talking about England and Wales. I'm not talking about the United Kingdom, because this program is an English law program. It won't let you acquire the skills to practice in Scotland or in Northern Ireland, because those two systems practice different laws. They are using, civil law, Roman law instead of common law. Now, there are actually quite a lot of students from Hong Kong U SPACE who succeed in gaining admission to other common law jurisdictions as well, including like Canada, New York, as well as California. Okay, better check with the professional bodies before you apply for the program if you want to rely on this degree to further proceed to legal practice. Now, you have to bear in mind 3 big steps when you start study on this program. The first thing is to apply to the University of London for the program. Now, we have an admission office housed under Hong Kong U SPACE on the 3rd floor of Admiralty Centre. The next step is for you to enroll on the preparation courses provided by Hong Kong U SPACE. We have a partnership with the University of London for over 55 years, and we are one of the recognized teaching centers by the University of London worldwide. The third thing for you to do is to enroll on your examinations, which were actually administered by the Hong Kong Examination and Assessment Authority. Now, 3 separate procedures, 3 separate steps, but they are interrelated. Now, there are actually 2 points for you to enter the program. If you have already got a recognized university degree, you can pursue the graduate entry route. What you need to do is to have a recognized, acceptable undergraduate degree and to prove your English proficiency. You just need to take 9 modules within a framework of 2 to 6 years. If you have not got your undergraduate degree yet, if you have just got a IB, A-levels, GCSE, associate degree, etc., you can start your study with the University of London on the standard entry route. What you need to do is to satisfy the general entrance requirements, which is 2 A-level passes plus 3 O-level passes, or equivalents, including like 5 passes in Hong Kong DSE. You have to prove your English proficiency as well, and you are required to do 12 subjects within a time frame of 3 to 6 years. Now, this is a list of modules that you will need to complete within your study, no matter you are on standard entry route or on the graduate entry route. These are all the very basic knowledge, subject matters that you need to do in order to be qualified as a lawyers in the future. But of course, that depends very much on the professional standards required by different jurisdictions as well. You better check before you actually plan your study. But of course, there are compulsory modules which are required by the University of London, which you must pass before you get the degree. Now, the degree itself is completely 100% examination-based. You need to pass examination, public examination, for each module, okay? Each module is going to have a 3-hour paper-based written examination. You have to pass each examination. 9 subjects on the graduate route, 12 subjects on the standard entry route. Now, there are 2 rounds of examinations open each year, administered by the Hong Kong EAA. Give you some flexibility. If you are not that confident in the first round, like May, June round, you can still choose the October round. It's pretty much like what you have in the certificate of in legal studies. It's you know, the program itself, our programs provide you with that sort of flexibility, okay? Especially when you may have a full-time job or you have other commitments, say, for example, family commitments. Now, as I said, there are 3 procedures. First thing is to apply to the University of London and then come to us for the registration on the prep courses. Registration on the examinations is another separate procedure. I don't need to say too much on this because Thomas have already touched upon our features, our advantages and our the advantages of studying with Hong Kong SPACE. We have been here for decades. We have a proven history. Our courses are of very high quality. And in particular, the University of London Llb prep courses are actually, most of them are taught by UK teachers, visiting teachers from major UK law schools. Now, many of them are authors of textbooks and have tremendous experience with the University of London program in different roles. Now, of course, we give you all the infrastructure, all the factors that would help you to improve your chances of getting high grades in the public examinations. At the very end, it all depends on your efforts, okay? But I have to say, very proud to say, that all our students in the past 5 decades have performed really, really well in the public examination and have given impressive results in the past examinations. Just in the past 7 years, we have produced 10 first-class honors degree holders, and many of them have achieved at least a 2-2 honors class of degrees at the graduation. Now, our program is designed in a way to really take care of the learning and teaching experience. Each prep course has basically 4 components. We have main lectures, which will teach you the very subject matter of that particular module, 36 hours. We have exam skills seminars. At that stage, you have to acquire the skills to transfer your substantive knowledge into something workable, usable in the examination hall. Exam skills, so important. The third component, mock examinations, will give you a chance to test, to really gain that experience of what is it like in the examination hall. You can make use of that experience to predict how well you can perform in the formal examinations. At the very end, well before you enter the examination hall to do your formal examinations, we have a wrap-up revision lectures arranged for you, including feedback, mock examination feedback. So it's a learning process that helps you to really not just gain the substantive subject matter, the knowledge, but also help you to develop and build up examination skills and confidence. Now, the plan for you, you may be thinking of the flexibility that you may have in studying with HKU SPACE on this program. Our suggestions would be for graduate entry students, it would normally take a 3 to 5 to 4 years. Normally, our students will finish on the graduate route within a time frame of 3 to 4 years. For standard entry route, if you want to do it very intensively, almost like a full-time, 3 years is very challenging, but it's not unachievable. Normally, students would, on average, would finish the program studying with us within a 4-year time frame. Now, what will you get if you enroll on this program? If you apply for the University of London, if the status is confirmed, you will get the module guides. Okay, every module comes with a module guide. It's developed by well-renowned legal scholars in that particular field. It's not a textbook, but it gives you all the detailed contents of what you need to study in a particular program. You will be given, thank you, Thomas. You will be given a statute book as well. You just keep it for your study, and you can take this to the examination hall for examination. So no need to memorize all the details of the provisions, the legal provisions. All right, and the University of London has also have a inclusive practice policy. If you have special needs, if you have a disability, no worry. You still want to do law with a well-renowned university, simply come to us. There is policy there, and we are very happy to support as well. Now, from HKU SPACE, once you register with our prep courses as a new student, we will give you a free foundation in legal studies course, 3 lectures. This will give you the very foundation before you start the formal learning about what legal study is like and what skills you need to acquire well before you commence on the study in other subjects. Tuition by renowned, very experienced teachers. Most of them have been teaching with us for over 15 years or so. Well liked by our students and proved to be very, very helpful and effective in helping them to pass the examinations with good grades. Now we have also online support. So 2.0 on top of what University of London will provide you with a very highly resourced learning, virtual learning environment. Access to, as Thomas said, access to HKU Law Library is actually a big plus if you study with HKU SPACE. And also our classes are all taught, basically they are taught on campus, HKU campus, just like a normal HKU student. Okay. Now, impressive students' performance. We have a very impressive track record here. Our passes basically define, help to define the pass rate regionally, and we are actually well above, our students attain passes well above the global averages. Now, in their works, in the past, we have, past 3 years, we have produced 3 first-class honors, like this one, Calvin Chung. He speaks highly of the quality of our teaching and the support he could get during his legal studies. And last year, we have Carmen Wong Carmen. You just saw her video, and she also speaks very highly of the teaching quality and the network and the teaching and the learning buddies she could get during her study with HKU SPACE. Now you would ask whether, how aligned is the Llb program with the Hong Kong PCLL program. Basically, you need to do 3 top-ups. That's across the board for anyone holding a non-local LLB or legal qualification acceptable for the PCLL program. If you are on the graduate route, it all depends on how you choose in your optional modules. You may need to do an additional conversion examination, either in company law or evidence, and also a slight part of commercial law Part C. If you're on a standard route, you just require, apart from the 3 top-ups, you do need to do a commercial law Part C examination. All the details can be found in that website. It's for anyone who are not holding a local LLB degree. For England and Wales, you are interested because this is a program that will allow you to enter into the legal practice in England and Wales as well. So I have included some websites for you to, you can just browse those websites and find the details of the requirements and of the standards here. All right, to sum up, you can just come to us to the admission office of the University of London, housed under Admiralty Centre, 3rd floor Admiralty Centre, to do your application. It's the quickest way. They can just give you the offer once you've got all the requirements satisfied, and you can simply do the enrollment with us simultaneously on the prep courses before the 18th. My advice is before the 18th of September. Now, if you don't want to focus on a whole LLB program, you don't want to study a whole proper LLB, you just want to study some aspect like contract law or commercial law, the University of London Graduate Diploma in Commercial Law may be something that suits you. Okay, I won't go into detail, but you can simply check our website and download this pamphlet, and that will give you all the details about the Graduate Diploma in Commercial Law. So that is for me on the LLB program. And perhaps to sum up, do apply, no matter you are interested in the Certificate in Legal Studies program or in the LLB program. Do check out and apply to us, or send us email if you have any questions concerning the programs. Okay, here we have the website for you and the general inquiry email, the phone number, as well as a QR code.
Thank you, Simon. We have an array of social media, like many organizations. We have Instagram accounts, we have Facebook accounts. So simply type Hong Kong U SPACE Law, and you can see us, or traditionally, you can call us by phone or email. Just to, as Simon quickly summed up, I mean, you know, Hong Kong U has been around for a long time, and Hong Kong U SPACE, the law part, has been around for a long time as well. And one of the great things, you know, about studying with us is that, you know, we are reliable, right? Reliable in terms of the quality of our programs, reliable in terms of the assured outcomes, right? And reliable in terms of the opportunities, you know, many of our students have gotten through doing this, whether they be doing the London U LB or doing the COS, DOS, et cetera, right? So, you know, one of the great things about studying with us is that we are a non-profit organization,
right,
and
right.
You know, we're here for you.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions you want to ask us, please do so. You can simply ask us via the chat or on our Facebook. You know, we've linked this to the Facebook as well. So please ask us any questions you like.
And actually, our programs are all in the hands of active legal academics like Thomas, like me, like our other colleagues. They are actually in this field instead of, you know, we are not simply administrators. We are here managing. We are active legal academics managing, taking care of the quality as well as the delivery of our programs.
Okay, so we seem to have some, just let me check, seem to have some questions from our viewers on Facebook. So we have a Facebook account, Hong Kong U SPACE Law. So we have some questions. Are there any entry requirements to the certificate in legal studies? As I mentioned before, there are no entry requirements, right? It's an open entry course, anyone can join.
Yeah,
you have
yes,
some
yes, some questions on YouTube. There's a question like this, I read out. Okay, what is the difference between studying a part-time JD or the programs you introduce? I guess you are comparing the LLB as well as the JD. In terms of fees, we are more affordable in a way, okay? But we may use more intensive schedules, teaching schedules, more intensive, visiting lecturers are flying from the UK to Hong Kong, more intensive in a way. That is one thing. And a local JD is a local LLB. But the University of London LLB is a non-local one, so you do need to go through the conversion once if you are thinking of future practice, okay? You have to convert into a status where that is comparable to the LLB, the local LLB, that will give you the eligibility for the PCLL program.
Well, one thing I want to mention is I know that people ask us this online all the time, right? Why study an LLB and why just go to JD? Well, as Simon mentioned, there's a big difference in costs. I mean, from my understanding, an average JD at Chinese U, City U, even Hong Kong U, costs about $400,000 Hong Kong.
Yeah, right.
$400,000 Hong Kong is a huge investment. And how much approximately is the LLB?
It's 150. 100. so you see a huge gap.
Yeah,
right?
again, I mean, you can spend that money doing something else. And the other difference is that you're getting a internationally recognized legal qualification, not just a local legal qualification, but something that is recognized in England.
Yeah, in England, Wales,
and Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong and some other places. We had successful students who gained admission to Canada, the Law Society, a California bar, New York bar, etc.
It's great.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions?
The prep courses. Okay. The second one is if I have interest in data protection or AML, which program should I select? How do I progress from there? I think you've got something.
Yes. If you're interested in AML, right, we have several programs available at Hong Kong U SPACE. I don't know your background, but we have, for example, the postgraduate diploma in finance and law, which would cover the topics that you want to study, right? And this is a fantastic program we have run jointly with the College of Business. So if you're interested, please let us know, and we'll get back to you. Just simply send us an email or call us, right? We can tell you more, which is available.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a third question actually. It's concerning the Llb prep courses. I think your question is, are the prep courses compulsory before getting into the Llb Graduate Entry? I think you are talking about whether it's a must to attend our prep courses in order to get the Llb. Now, in theory, you can just simply do it as an independent learner, okay? Register, apply to the London Llb, okay? Once accepted, you are on it, okay? You can, in theory, you can do it all on your own. Now, there are cases, but I would say not a lot of successful cases, because you do need some, support. You do need some guidance, good tuition. And I would mention that at some point, now, this is not compulsory. It's not required for you to do a face-to-face, attend any course for the Llb program. But at some point, if, say, you are applying for admission in a jurisdiction where they are not that familiar with how you get your Llb degree, you do need some testimony, a certification of how you get it, okay? Here, Hong Kong U SPACE is the place. First off, it is recognized by the University of London as a teaching institute. Second, it provides very high quality tuition. And third, we can give you that certification and testimony. If at that point, okay, this is not just a distant learning, okay, course. It is where you do it part-time, properly, okay, and we give you all the proof if you need it. And you do need some, networking, and also getting to know to your professors, teaching you on the prep courses as well. So these are all big pluses, okay, if you're thinking of doing the LLB with London. You do need some support.
And the other thing too is, as Simon said, we've been running this, program for 55 years.
Right.
And we have so many successful student outcomes. So why do it yourself
Right.
when we've been helping students for 55 years?
Exactly.
And we have proven results, right?
Exactly.
So better to get help.
Yeah, very well said, Thomas. Okay.
Any other questions? Just
I
want to check my Facebook. Okay.
Right.
We have a question here. What's the difference between UK law and Hong Kong law?
Ooh.
So do you want to answer that? I mean, in terms of because I assume that, you'll be teaching UK law, or, so do you want to...
Well, there's no one thing called UK law.
Okay.
We only have England and Wales, as a system. There's no one UK law, although it's a political concept, a constitutional concept, but in terms of law, we have England and Wales, basically based on common law. Hong Kong, because of the common law legacy, we basically, like in many areas, I think we are pretty much more the same, like all the basic principles in contract, right? Offer acceptance, consideration, invitation to treat, all sort of things, okay? And in tort, for example, negligence, and in crimes, okay, the elements there, mens rea, etis reus, okay, causation, okay, basically, all the concepts are pretty much the same if you are talking about, similarity. But of course, there's a lot of codifications and legislation now, and different countries, different jurisdictions have been taking quite a different path, historically, socially, politically, and that makes a lot of difference as well. So we can't say there's. Of course, there are differences, there are differences, but at the same time, we are pretty much sharing quite a big wealth, okay, of commonality, okay, so to say. So I think I don't know whether I have answered the question, but the differences and the similarities are here. What
I think the key thing is that, Hong Kong is part of the common law legal tradition, and as such, as we mentioned before, a lot of our students who studied with us, have gone overseas, and as I myself come from a different jurisdiction, and I'm able to teach here, so the skills are readily transferable, right? Another question which I saw is that, will we be teaching face-to-face? For the certificate in legal studies and diploma in legal studies, if things continue the way they are in Hong Kong, I think the number of cases have dropped. So we'll be having face-to-face classes, right? So if you studied with us, you'll be sitting here in a classroom environment, with the social, separation, right? So be spaced out, but you'll be seeing the teacher, face to face, can ask him or her questions. What about the LB?
Well, we have been, during the last few months, we have been using quite a lot of technology. Like we still do live, we engage students live with teachers who couldn't come to Hong Kong, but they deliver their lectures live from the UK, from London, from Cambridge, from Oxford as well. And we have the momentum here. Students like it, and students actually are acquiring new skills. I think we are looking forward. We are not just taking it as a mitigation. We are looking forward in the future. Students, lawyers, they do need some new skills in terms of e-learning. So our experience during the last few months was actually pretty good, and students are benefiting from it. Yeah. I have a question here, two questions again. Okay, after studying the prep course for a year in SPACE, does it count into second year studying time of the London LLB? I think there are two separate procedures. I would say two separate things. On the program, on the LLB program, you follow their steps. You follow, the London LLB program prescription. So you have to pass level 4 subjects, all the compulsory in level 4s before you move on to level 5. Now, that is not that time related in a way. That is a sort of, notional kind of progression. Level 4, 5, 6. It all depends on how you plan over, okay? You may want to do all 3 levels, 4, 5, 6, in a time frame of, say, 6 years, okay? You may simply do it like within if you are on the graduate route, within 2 years. I won't advise that because that is suicide route. That is not advisable. But if you do want, you may 2 years to do 3 levels. It's fine. So it's pretty much independent. Each of them are independent of each other. So if you are studying with us, that is another thing, okay? The prep courses is another thing. All right. So it won't basically you follow in terms of the program, you follow the London steps. But our prep courses, no matter how many you want to enroll, say like four modules at one go, is fine. But you have to really take care. You have to really think about whether you can afford the time and the energy, etc. And there is another. Just want to clarify what you get from the LLB is online materials from London. Basically, you study on your own. No, no. Well, if you are simply on the LLB, I would say they would give you at the London LLB. If you don't want to do any prep courses with us, you are on your own, independent learner. You rely basically, yes, I would say, not just online materials because on the VLE, on the virtual learning environment in London, they provide you with lecture plus, chat room. Not completely an online experience, but you still can have some interaction and engagement with your counterparts around the world. Okay, that's one thing. But if you study the prep courses with us, all right, that is more than that. Okay. Because the London gives you all the infrastructure, all the basic stuff, materials, but from Hong Kong U SPACE will give you the tuition, the interaction, the engagement, the teaching and learning experience. Okay, that is what I want to say.
And the other thing too is, you got to think about, the outcome you want at the end, right? A lot of students who's doing this is thinking about going to the PCLL.
Right.
And one way of gaining into PCLL is just by academic results.
Right.
If you do it by yourself, just by, London ULB, that's all well and good. But having that extra support, having the extra, tuition, having, these very experienced professors who come here and teach, that makes a difference between potentially getting into the PCLL and not getting into the PCLL, right? So, I would say, why not get extra help? Why not get support?
Right. I think the learning and teaching process matters.
Exactly, exactly. I don't think we have any more questions. For my program, someone asked, what if I fail an exam, right? So if you fail, well, which not many of our students fail, just do the exam again, right? As simple as that. I don't think I have any more questions here.
I'm done here.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, shall we?